Hey, good afternoon. So this morning I had a bunch of bags to make. Dad's been up here. Unfortunately, yesterday, probably around the time I finished filming, how well the seed cleaning was going, the aspirator motor shut off. I checked power to it. It's only only on 120 volt. It was getting 80 volts. Then I checked another plug-in in there, and that plug-in was actually getting 160. And I was like, holy smokes, because I'm not an electrician, I don't understand this, right? So I know that on a breaker or whatever, there's A and a B side, So if you lose one side of 120, the other side that's running on 120 will work, and anything that's running on 240 won't work because half of it's missing. So right here, so this is the operation. So this actually comes right all the way from our pump house down in the yard, comes underground to here. We only put this in about 4 years ago. So the way this works, you should have 120 on this wire and 120 on this wire, and then a neutral. And then as it feeds in, you have 120 going to this side and 120 going to this side. And if you put a big 240 volt breaker in there, it takes power from both sides. If you have a 120 volt breaker in there, it only takes power from one side. What the problem we were having was this wire showed, I believe it was 90, and this one showed 150. So that just makes no sense at all, right? Why would that happen? So over in the seed cleaning shed, the stuff that was running on the 90 side, or the side that was getting 90, wasn't running at all. And the stuff that was running on this side that was getting 150, 160, was running quite a bit faster. You could hear the motor speed up. Good morning. So it's Friday morning. Yesterday, we had those electrical issues, and I had talked to an electrician guy that I know. We hooked everything back up, and we were getting 120, 120. Now when we put everything under load, it does change, but everything's still working and seems to be getting the power that it needs. So we cleaned grain for a little bit yesterday. Then this screening auger up there, where is it? Up there. I shoveled a whole bunch into it, and then it actually it stopped. Now, partially because the belt up top was slipping, and partially because it didn't have enough jam to get it augered out, which is kind of crazy because that's a 1-horse motor on a 4-inch auger, so should have way more than enough to auger a bit of barley screenings, but it didn't. So what I'm going to do now, yesterday I changed this aspirator motor, I changed it over to 240 power. Lots of these farm duty electrical motors that we have, and I'm assuming probably with electrical motors all over, there's low volt and high volt, and it's just you just change a couple wires. So today I'm gonna hop up there, I'm gonna change that one over to 240 as well. Because one thing we noticed, and I gotta show you this. So the guy that my dad worked with, that actually owned this place before my dad bought it, I guess he was kind of a salvage type guy and loved doing shit to the max. So when they wired this, it's 240 with a different style plug-in, 120 light switch. This light switch is hooked up, but it doesn't do anything. Then over here, you got 120, 240, 240, 120. Just way too many plugins, and you only have actually this 240 volt power cord feeding the whole building. So that's my project for the day. I'm going to rewire this motor. Hopefully that changes things. I know when we flipped this aspirator motor on before, the lights would actually cut right out. And now when I flip it on, they don't. So that is just, that just shows that, something was wired wrong. And the fact that all of this stuff is running on 240, even the cleaner itself, and now this, it basically guarantees that our power line over there underground didn't break, and we actually have more of an issue with this. Now my my electrical friend there, he didn't get out here yesterday, but he thought he might come today. Because he said what I was explaining to him did sound a bit fishy. However, you know, it's like anything. Unless you're kind of standing here seeing the situation, you'd never know, right? So, we'll see how it goes. Everything's been running for about 2.5 hours now. So, I'm not an electrician, and I don't even understand power at all. I don't even understand what happened. Originally, we thought, because this has happened to us 2 or 3 times in the past recently, underground, when we have, unless you do a really good job and a real thorough job and spend a lot of money doing underground power, you're probably shooting yourself in the foot. And we learned that after we did this. You know, there was some local guys around here that had done some underground power, and we talked to other people about it, and it was kind of with varying amounts of success. So we thought, well, whatever, we own our own backhoe, so we can dig a nice hole, and we got, you know, we'll get all new wire, and we'll put all new wire in. And we did that, but we didn't put any sawdust or sand or boards or even run it through conduit. We just laid the wire in the ground. Now, probably that works pretty well in some places, but up here we have such massive fluctuations as the frost goes into the ground and comes out of the ground. It moves quite a bit. You know, it's one of the reasons why, like, you know, concrete and stuff, if it's not done properly up here, it doesn't stand up, it cracks because the ground moves. You'll have buildings shift, you know, you'll open a door one day and it'll work really well, and then 2 days later, it'll, you know, it won't close right because actually the building has shifted as the frost comes in and out of the ground. So, we were assuming, you know, just as luck would have it, some rock somewhere found a way to touch the wire, and then the frost heaved and broke the wire. That has happened to us twice in the past. Fortunately, both times where we started digging was the problem, so we repaired it and it worked good. This line's been in the ground for about 5 years, so when all this happened yesterday, we were like, oh my God, how could it last 5 years and then break? So that's one of the reasons we were so confused. But when we hooked everything back up this morning and got everything going, I mean, I guess it basically proves that the wire couldn't have broke underground. I mean, I got 4 240 volt motors running. I got the lights on in the seed cleaning shed. Actually, that auger over there that's taking the clean grain into the truck, that's plugged into a different pole altogether. I still have good power at that pole to plug my tractor in, so the line couldn't have broke. Anyways, everything's running good. This is going to be a day of cleaning grain. So I'm going to probably end the video here. So, as always, to those who are watching, thank you. Any new people, welcome. And we will see you all on the next one.